Welcome to Daily Conversation. This okay.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 10th of November 2021 and the time now is 6:17 a.m. Well, today our topic is the paradox of choice. All right, so before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yep. So today we talk about paradox of choice, and yeah, I think this is something also happens when I go to the supermarket. Yeah. Firstly, when I read the summary of the paradox of choice, and then I imagine myself going to the supermarket and then trying to buy something. And yeah, I also found this problem when there are many choices, and then I will spend time to choose which one that I need. And then actually there are so many things to consider. For example, prices. For example, brains. Maybe if you buy something related to food or something you can apply, maybe you look at the ingredient, you look at the origins of the products, and then also many other issues to be considered. Yep, and then yeah, if we kind of like um, jump out from this, and then before we go to the supermarket, and then what do we want? What do we really want? Yeah, this is something maybe different, and then compare to your final decision. For example, sometimes when I buy something and uh, I just want maybe these few functions. When I when I came across the choices in front of me, and then maybe some other functions also is something that I actually take into account. Yeah, so this is kind of like the choices make me um, pursue some other things instead of the things that I want. Yeah, and then also some other things which is totally I don't plan to buy, but when I saw it, and then it attracts me, and then finally I buy it. Yeah, and also
Are you
in yeah,
refer to 1111 function?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
Sometimes when I
function?
click in the apps, right?
What
Hmm.
function you looking for? Is it a phone?
It functions. Okay, when making decisions, phone is something that has a lot of functions. Yeah, it can be one example. Sometimes maybe I just need a long battery. I just need maybe uh not maybe I just need let's say 4 gig RAM, and then that's enough. But when I have a few decisions, when I have a few choices, maybe I look at something like camera, and then some other things like maybe the also the phone memory, or maybe the phone color, the design of the products also been taken into account. Yep, and then also there is a feeling like if you choose this one, and then you buy it, when you receive it, you use it, and then because you haven't tried the other choices, and then you feel like, oh, seems like this is not the best choice that this is not the bad choice. Maybe the other one that I consider at that time better than this. Yeah, I will have sometimes I will have this kind of feeling. And yeah, actually this is also something that I came across when I was studying the subject of marketing in the college, and uh, it also mentions this kind of feelings for the buyers. They buy something and then actually they will judge whether these products meet their expectation, and sometimes they will have the feeling of regret, not choosing the other one, even though maybe the other one may just function as the same. They just have the same quality, or they are maybe like mostly the same, not much different. But people will have this kind of regret. Yeah, and then in that part, it mentions one strategy, which is like to um, not to promise more than the expectation. It is like if your expectation, how to say, if the products uh, can be better than your expectation, and then it actually create the kind of like the satisfaction, and it's something positive, and then uh, yeah, this is something that I came across in the book. And if you just meet the expectation, maybe yeah, people were satisfied, but the feeling of satisfaction will be lesser than the previous one.
But this is very difficult.
Mm.
In
Yep.
business, they also have their paradox. First,
Yep.
you need market your product. You can, and yeah, uh, we don't want we don't want kind of like uh give you over expect
Mm.
uh give you over expectation, and then we under delivery. We don't want that. We want to
Mm.
try to say something true. Yeah. Uh, but uh, but 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 there's a problem when you say something true. People may expect higher. Mm.
Mm. Yep.
And there's no incentive for you to give a lower promise. Yeah. I think this is not uh, a good strategy or good tactic to
Mm.
to
Yeah,
to
but this is a
business.
part to be considered, right?
Mm.
And I think also it depends on the competitiveness of that particular services or products.
Yeah. Like one of our conversations, which is the trustworthiness.
Mm.
We also mentioned about when the promising can affect the trustworthiness, then the promise could be critical.
Mm.
So if you under promise, and uh, it will make you less trustworthy.
Mm. Yep.
And uh, but actually uh, uh, there's other ways to deal with it. Uh, you don't need to under promise. You you uh you don't need to under promise, and but you still can achieve the the same objectives that we are mentioned just now. So
Mm.
what I see is actually make your product can improve over time, and I think it mostly applicable for digital goods. For example, Microsoft product, because they'll update. For example, for example your phone, the system, the software can update.
Mm.
For example, the application, the application can update over time. And another example, which is a Tesla car. The Tesla car, the Tesla car actually can upgrade, can improve over time. The performance of Tesla car can improve over time. This is something that we never we never thought before, we never heard before in the car industry.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, so uh, the company need to try to digitalize everything, digitalize your process, your product. If something that can rely on software, you don't rely on hardware, because software can improve, hardware cannot improve. Hardware
Mm.
can only be depreciated. Yeah, and improve for software cost you less marginal cost. Yeah, of course, they may have high fixed cost, but they will have very little or zero marginal cost compared to upgrade the hardware. The marginal cost is high, and maybe the big cost is also high. Yeah, the variable cost is also high because, for example, let's say for car manufacturer, they want to call back all the car back to the factory and change the hardware, change the part. Maybe there's some problem, or maybe you want to upgrade. It's not possible. Totally not possible.
Yep. And also basically the hardware replacement, they do charge higher, and then for software maybe they it is free, or maybe they charge a little lower than the hardware.
Yeah. And how can it apply to traditional business? You may focus on something that can change without without face-to-face, without physical fixing. For example, customer service. For example, you can run a program to remember your customer birthday, and then you can send a greeting to your customer. In Malaysia, still few company do that. Yeah, and most of the company did that is like the bank or like credit card company, some big corporation.
Yeah.
But no SME do that. But actually, this is a very simple task.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can do other things. For example, like maybe in your industry, you will record down when your customer insurance or road tax is going to expire, and then you inform them before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's also one of the methods. It's something like adding the value. So yeah, if the customers who stick with you, who stick with the company and see your company keep improving, keep adding new value, maybe the charge increase a little bit, or no increasement, and they'll be satisfied.
Yep. Yeah. And then next is the terms that I find in the link that you share, which is the Wikipedia, right? And there are two terms, which is the maximizer, and the other one seems like is the satisficer. Yeah. So it line up the difference between these two type of people, and the first type, which is the maximizer, they mostly they will have the worries, the concerns of after buying these things, and then maybe they could have been better, some other which is better, and we didn't choose, and mostly we will have this kind of feeling, and this annoys us emotionally. And then the second type, which is the satisficer, they of course they also make decisions at the time of choosing which one to buy, but after they choose one, they think this is the one that they need. It meet their expectation, and then they don't worry about there could be other better choice. They also will not regret on what they buy, unless the things that they buy isn't isn't meeting their expectation after the purchase. And then but it seems like for this part it didn't go into detail, and so that I I didn't know which one is kind of like is one better than the other. If in my opinion, I think maybe if we talk about on the psychological aspect, which is whether this becomes something that affect us, maybe for satisficer, it is better off. Will have less maybe emotions, which is the negative emotion, maybe anxiety, after making the decisions.
Yeah, actually, it remind me two things, and one is for corporation, one is for individual. And I talk about the corporation first. And the paradox of choice, actually, company are many company are and also many industry are trying to deal with this paradox. And
Mm,
instead of give consumer a lot of choice, they help consumer to make a choice. Yeah, of course, this is for their self-interest. And for example, the housing agent
mm,
and uh, instead of finding all all of the best all of the best house for you and take you to the place and see the house. Instead of
mm,
doing that, they find one house uh is kind of like uh uh the price is not too high but also not too low, but
mm.
the quality of the house, the locations, all the thing is very very bad, and nobody are going to buy the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a house that the real estate company stand by and let the agent to use. Yeah, so first the agent will take the buyer go to see the house, and
Mm,
yeah, the price is unreasonable, and the quality is so bad, so it actually increase the base price of the buyer. And then uh, the agent will take the buyer go to another super expensive, super high class house. It's a
mm,
very expensive. It's more than the expectation, and also but also the quality is is higher, and also the price is high, and the buyer uh, normally the buyer will say, yeah, I want to see one more, because
mm,
I cannot compare, because I couldn't use the first one to compare. And then the agent will take the buyer go to see the house that the agent or the real estate company trying to sell to the buyer.
mm,
Yeah, which is fair price, and the quality is not too bad. Yeah, and so it seems quite fair. So the buyer will make the decision.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, so so that means the real estate company just need to take the buyer to 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 uh to see tree house. Yeah, to
Mm,
check tree house, instead of check five, check six, check 10. The
yeah.
buyer will feel tired, will feel frustrated, and also it will paralyze their decision making ability.
Mm,
Mm. And uh, about others company, for example, manufacturer. Uh, for example, let's say you are producing shampoo, you are manufacturing shampoo, and you are trying to produce a different product. Okay, and then what you're going to do, you are going to highlight the features of one product. For example, this shampoo can prevent white hair. This shampoo can make your hair softer.
mm,
Yeah, and another shampoo uh is kind of like avoid oily. Yeah,
mm. Yeah.
so you highlight the different features. But actually, okay, this is another psychology. Yeah, this is another psychological issue, which is uh if you highlight the features, and the consumer are more likely to buy, and also are more willing to buy with a higher price. But actually, the components inside the shampoo is exactly the same as the original one. For example, you are selling a pill, let's say the Panadol, and you change the color. You change the color, and let's say from white color to red color, and then the pill become bigger. And but the but the but the components, and I means the chemical is exactly the same. So and the effectiveness is also the same. Yeah, just about the appearance. And you can write, yeah, this is double effective. Yeah, of course it's double effective because the pill become bigger, right? You didn't cheat. Yeah, so yeah, and you can sell higher price, and consumers are willing to pay higher price to buy. This is another psychology. So this also similar. This is also like you help the consumer make a choice. But another thing which is um okay, about, let's go back to the shampoo. Okay, and if you want to produce a variety of products, you need to highlight the features so that a consumer won't be confused, and they can more easy to make a choice. Yeah. And also some other retailer, uh, sometimes they'll put some product together. One is seem bad, another seem super expensive, and the last one is look good, and the price is okay. Yeah, so help the consumer to make a decision. Yeah, and for example, and also for retail shop, they may not put too much uh, same category of product at one place. Yeah, or maybe they'll have different strategy uh to kind of like separate them, to categorize them. Yeah, yeah. Some of the company using the branch. Yeah. So one branch is this rack, another branch is another rack, or some others retail th they may put using you sometimes using the features. Yeah, sometimes using the price, or sometimes using the size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at some circumstances, also trying to reduce the consumer uh uh trying to limit the consumer choice when they're looking on on a single rack. Yeah. So for example, when they look on a single rack, okay, this is all the small size product, so they don't have to deal with the same company product. Okay, same manufacturer and different size of product. Yeah, or maybe they're looking on the same same branch, and that means they don't need to compare the product with other branch. Yeah, and if customer want to compare, they will compare by themselves. But they also yeah. So this is like you're trying to limit their choice. Yeah, of course, if they really want to do the research, they can go for it, because you are the retail, and you cannot just sell one or two products in your retail shop. Yeah, but you're trying. The key point here is trying to reduce, trying to limit the choice. Yeah, you couldn't eliminate, but you try to limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a corporation, and the second is about the individual, which is uh it's also something that I learned from a book, but this is a video review of a book. This is the 断舍离, okay? And in the book, the author mentioned one of the thing, which is uh, if you want to buy a product, you don't look at the price tag first. You try to think. You try to figure how much value can this product give you. And let's say, for example, you think the value the product can give you is $20, and then you look at the price tag is $15, so it's lower, and then you buy it. Yeah, so it's that simple. So that's mean it is matched to something you mentioned just now, which is a certifier, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're looking on the function or the features of the product, and they're looking on the value that the product can give, can provide them. Yeah. Instead of do a lot of comparison.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes we just kind of like, for me, I was affected by the price. Let's say there's something, let's say they give you a voucher, and then you can you can buy it for, let's say you you buy something, and then you get a $10 deductions, and then yeah, these kind of things sometimes did affect me. And sometimes when I was looking at the products, and suddenly I found that, why am I looking at these products? This is not something that I wanted to buy. And also sometimes when I affected by price, and then sometimes I did realize that even though maybe compare a few products, and then also they are in a discount, or what, and after that I found that the using this price to buy this thing is something not necessary, not worth, and then at the end I didn't buy. Sometimes it's like this.
So tomorrow is 11/11, and I remember last 11/11 you are buying a new phone, right?
Yeah.
Is the phone good?
I think it is not. It is not. It is not good because I don't know why. It is just. It's quite new, and then why the screen has got some problem. The screen sometimes is not function well. Sometimes it's like I didn't click it, but maybe it like it has some bugs, and then it keep clicking at a particular point. Yeah, and then I have to switch off my screen and then on again.
Is it because of the laggy?
It's not laggy. It's just like let's say I click the close button. I just click one time, and then it seems like there is a bug, and then it keep clicking at the same point. Yeah. Or sometimes I couldn't move it because it is clicking at some other point.
Do you know what is a processor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, and I think this problem could be the processor problem. Yeah, the processor is not good, and yeah, since you say it don't have lag, and but I still think a little bit relate to the RAM, because I remember you say your phone is only 3 RAM, right?
Yeah.
And RAM is something like your hand, and your processor is something like your brain, and yeah, if there's if there's a shortage of each of them, if there's a shortage of your brain resources, brain energy resources, and it couldn't function well, and and also sometimes when the brain send the signal to your hand, which is the RAM, and it don't have enough resources to deal with it. So it may have some problem. Yeah, I think many of the problem can relate to the processor and the RAM. Yeah, and Yeah, but of course, sometimes your phone is using for a very long time. Then there's another story. Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So how about the one that you buy?
You miss? Yeah. Last year I didn't buy the phones, and
Oh,
my
mm,
phone is using is 2 years old already, and it
mm.
still function well. Yeah. And
Mm.
yeah. But recently I feel that they will have some laggy, and
Oh.
I think this is because of the room. Yeah. So because after I remove and delete some of the obsolete photo and clear some space, and it function well again. And also I found that the laggy normally happen in the Google Chrome, and so that
Mm.
I clear the cache, and also I kind of like clear my history,
Yeah.
and it function well again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't uh get it wrong, you buy the brand which is Realme, right?
Yeah, Realme. And last year I actually bought the phones for my girlfriend. This is Xiaomi brand, and yeah, function very well. Mm.
Mm.
And yeah, are you going to change phone this year? No, right?
Um. Yeah. I think I don't want to look at the 1111 deals.
Why?
Yeah.
No, no, no.
If I look at it, maybe I buy.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, actually, my girlfriend is is trying to buy a phone uh for her brother, and actually recently we saw a deal which is, I think, quite good, and is Xiaomi. Okay,
Mm.
is Xiaomi. I think the the brand is called Redmi 90, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Redmi 90, and there's an offer which is 4 gig RAM, 64 gig room, 399, so it's 400, and the
Wow.
processor is quite okay. Yeah, the processor is not suitable for playing a big playing the kind of like the uh big size game, but
Mm.
it is but it is but it is uh enough for daily use. Yeah, and yeah, there's a fast charging, and also the battery is very big, 6,000 6,000 mAh,
Mm.
fast charging, 18 18 watt. Yeah, so general, this phone is good. Yeah, and if you want to upgrade your budget, you can choose the 6 gig RAM, 128 gig room,
Mm.
499, which is
Wow.
500. Yeah, so I realized that, yeah, the product become cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, we can even get 6 gig
RAM.
RAM under 500, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Mm. Okay, talk about my opinion about the
Yeah.
paradox of choice. And yeah, in the link in the Wikipedia, and because this is a book that written by an author, I forget his name, and
Mm.
there's a quote which is, autonomy and freedom of choice are critical to our well-being. So that means, uh, if you have the control, and you have the you have the you can make a choice freely. Yeah, and you'll be you'll be happier, critical to our well-being. And
Mm.
the next is, and choice is critical to freedom and autonomy. So that means the choice you make is critical to freedom and autonomy. So it's kind of like the both both way. Uh, one can affect uh, one can affect another, and the effect can come back to the first one. So yeah, because we make the choice every day, and if we make good decisions, we will have higher freedom in future. We will have higher level of autonomy in futures. Very simple example: spending habits. Yeah, saving, investment.
Mm.
So yeah, choice is critical to freedom and autonomy. I agree. And also the first autonomy or freedom of choice are critical to our well-being. I also agree. Okay. And the next quote is nonetheless, though modern Americans have more choice than any group of people ever has before, and thus presumably more freedom and autonomy, but we don't seem to be benefiting from it psychologically. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's a conflict, there's a there's a paradox here, and the subtitle of this book is "More is Less." Yeah, and also this is something that we discussed just now, but I found that all of these things is a small thing. Yeah, and I give you my conclusion and also short
Yeah.
answer. Uh, we need to focus on the core, which is the most important thing. Okay, and uh, I'll go back to the first quote, which is the freedom and autonomy of choice are critical to our well-being. I totally agree. And because from one of the book I read, which is a status syndromes, yeah, social control, your control and the social participation is critical to your well-being and also critical to your longevity. Yeah.
Mm.
So freedom and autonomy play a very important role in happiness longevity. Yeah. If you don't have choice, you don't have control. You may not able to fully participate in society
Yeah.
because you are struggling with your daily life. Just like one of the story and one of the uh, thing we discussing before, which is in a book, which is the nature of poverty. Yeah, 贫穷的本质. And in the book, the author say that poor people have many problems, have many small problems in their daily life. So they couldn't focus on the big one, and they couldn't focus on long term issue and trying to solve them because they already spend their their energy, their controlling power on the small thing in their daily life. Yeah, it is also the same. If you
Mm.
don't have choice, yeah, and if you are forced to focus on the small thing, you can't really make a very good decision in long term. Yeah, in long run, and so that you kind of like have lesser chance, have lesser probability to have control, to fully participate in the society. Yeah,
Mm.
and it linked to the next point. Uh, why we will have this paradox? Why greater freedom and autonomy of choice may make you suffer, may make you feel powerless, frustrated, and hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a sound here, which is the electronic sound. Yeah, and now it's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Again,
Oh.
did you do anything?
Didn't?
Didn't.
Maybe
Okay.
it's the mic. Let me adjust the plug. Still got?
No. Yeah, now it's okay already. Okay.
Okay.
And why greater freedom and autonomy of choice may make you suffer, may make you feel powerless, frustrated, and yeah, and why too many options will make you that? And yeah, this is first question. And second question, that comes to my mind, which is this a long-term suffering or is this a short-term suffering?
Mm.
Yeah. So if I try to look at the task, we may feel frustrated uh, with too many options, and normally it is a small thing. Yeah. And and for the small thing, and the first is unlikely will cause the long-term suffering. Yeah, unless you keep doing the same thing. You keep choosing the small thing every day. Yeah. So first, this is a small thing. We also can say this is sometimes unimportant thing. And how about for those very important things? For example, our relationship, our family, uh, our career, our wealth, yeah, our health, all these big things. Yeah. Uh, yeah, we can have option. We also have some option. For example, sometimes you need to sacrifice something in order to get more in one particular thing. Yeah. Uh, so for this thing, you also may feel frustrated because uh you kind of like trying to achieve both, trying to get both, but you couldn't. Yeah. So it also may cause you frustrated, or you're trying to pursue too much thing. Yeah. But end up you feel frustrated and none of them been achieved. So uh if this is the case, if this assumption uh is correct, and knowing what you really want and finding what you really want, setting goal for your want is critical. It's very, very important. Yeah. And it also in the Wikipedia, and I think it's also in it's one of the point in the book. Okay. And for the big thing, we really need to consider. Well, we really need to uh, think and spend a lot of time to do the self reflection and really understand what we want. Yeah, yeah, understand what we want, and then we need to evaluate. We need to evaluate the different options and the different thing. What's the value to us? Yeah, and what we want. So uh yeah, and although you follow these rules in short and medium term, the process is also frustrating. Yeah, it's also a suffering because you need to keep evaluating, you need to comparing, you need to weighing the different options. Yeah, but hopefully in long term you start to do the subtractions, which is minus something that's unimportant in your life and chipping out something that are unimportant and focus on something that you really want to do and something that's uh, may give you there's something that will give you higher value. Yeah. Through your trial and error, through your experiment. Yeah. So uh for my opinion about the paradox, okay, is because of we have the time lagging, we have the time difference. we are looking at the we're looking at a different time frame. The first is the short term. For short term, you are exploring yourself. So of course, you need to evaluating a lot of things. Yeah, you need to comparing a lot of things. So of course you feel frustrated. Yeah, and if you if you keep using the short term strategy for your whole life, and of course your whole life will be frustrating. You'll feel frustrating for your whole life. So that you need to know, this short term strategy is not the goal. Yeah, the goal is for the long term is working for your patient. Yeah, finding finding out what you really want. Yeah, yeah. And if we kind of like uh try to downsize the problem, yeah, try to downsize the problem, and maybe we are choosing the product, and we also can try to understand what we really want. For example, a phones. What is the purpose? I want a new phone. Yeah. What what is the usage of this phone, of the phone that I want? Yeah. And for example, you want to buy an e-reader, you may think, yeah, this is black and white. Yeah. And the screen is exactly same size as an iPad or an tablet. And why not I buy a color one? Yeah. It seems like the ebook reader. yeah, ebook reader is kind of like the inferior product, because don't have color and also quite lag. Yeah, and the only purpose is for reading book only. Yeah, and but if I use the same money to buy a tablet, yeah, I can read book on the tablet also. I can play game, I can listen music, I can do a lot of things. Yeah, and but what you really want, you want a device that can provide you the best experience of reading book. Yeah, so ebook reader is the best choice. Yeah, not tablet, not iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can downsize to every of our problem, and if we really understand what we want, yeah, what we need, and uh, the process will be less easier. To trying to find out what we to trying to evaluate, to trying to compare, to trying to weighing the thing, because we already chipping out many other options. We already like kind of like some many of the options already out, so you only have a few options for you.
Yeah, and we also will encounter trial and error, right? Once you have the main objective in your mind, and then you choose one product. If it didn't work well, maybe next time you try the other.
Yeah, and also maybe your objective, maybe your one is not the real one that that you are fighting. But it is also a trial and error process. You are trying to finding the real ones. You are trying to figure out the most suitable things for you.
Yeah.
And also for company, I think in business there's one code which is don't try to find the best candidate. Try to find the most appropriate candidate. Is it? Yeah. So it is also trying to find the most appropriate person to fit
Yeah.
the position, and instead of trying to find the best one. Yeah. So that's my sharing for today.
Yeah.
Anything else want to add?
No.
Okay. So that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocal mistake that we make, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.